got upstage burgers so that he can gesture better. Okay. 2905, please.
And once you get a seat, remember where you're sitting.
That was
do it a
18.
second time. You
80.
need to sit in the same seat.
If not, we can have another one by noon.
You're going to be matching Teddy's here. Okay.
Gary, we're ready.
Rolling, please. Stand by on the track in 3, 2, 1, music.
It's a Broadway musical. We happen to be doing it on ice, we happen to be doing it on television. But for all intents and purposes, it is totally from scratch. Giving television, or giving the people who watch television, an original piece of theater. Not only do we have some of the best skaters in the world, but now we're also asking them to become actors and actresses with a lot of dialogue. They're doing sketches and scenes and that they're not used to doing. So that's kind of different. It's a different departure.
A lot of the story development is realized through physical moments. Characters push and shove, characters make large gestures. The dialogue is pretty simple, geared towards younger people, but still emotional about things that concern us all.
We decided once again to ask Randy Goodrum to write the score. And he is just the most wonderful writer, because when you do a show like this, first of all, there are so many different styles of music.
When you're ready, then you make the call.
We have one song that feels like an old 40s band song, Find a Fantasy, that Jose skates with all of the Follies dancers. He had to write a 50s Elvis Presley kind of song.
Don't you mess up my do, baby. Don't mess up my do, baby.
He had to write A Child and a Doll, a beautiful romantic song.
His best pal, her best friend.
He is so wonderfully versatile in terms of his melodies. Gary Smith and Dwight Hemian are only as good as all of the people that we bring with us. Dwight's attention to lighting and detail and camera work is extraordinary. There's nobody quite like him in terms of his cinematic eye of putting these kind of pictures together, which is challenging in that for skaters, things are moving so fast. And Jeff Billings, our costume designer, has designed wonderful costumes. It's kind of patchworky. The whole environment is kind of a patchworky kind of many different periods.
My concept was that these were like muses. It sounds a little esoteric, but they represented all forms of sort of live entertainment. There's a little bit of vaudeville, there's a little bit of commedia dell'arte, there's a little bit of medicine show, there's a little Shakespeare, there's a little burlesque, there's a little circus. And I also used kind of an odd palette. They're all off colors. Instead of red, I use burgundy. Instead of orange, I use sort of rust or burnt orange. Instead of green, like Kelly green, I use like a celery green or a yellow green. I mean, I sort of took each of the colors and sort of made them not primaries. But I wanted it to have the feeling that they had gone to old costume trunks maybe and pulled different pieces and sort of put it together. And as they travel across the world granting these wishes, that they find a bow here or a hat here and they sort of trim it up and add it to the mix.
That person who's yelling 5, 6, 7, 8 is Jamie Isley, choreographer. What I liked especially about Jamie in the earliest meetings we had was that her conversations about ideas were very, very good.
We've brought in a precision team.
which is 12 skaters, 12 female skaters, that this is their specialty, is skating together. And they do this wonderful precision number with Jose. It was really a challenge to put it together because I worked with them separately and I taught them their number, and then I had to introduce, I went to Canada and I worked with Jose separately, and then the first time we did it was here at rehearsals. And it was just a matter of, okay, everybody go, and it kind of just came together. Katya's character has to look different. One of the things you very seldom see are those standard ballet moves on the ice, like susus and things on point and stuff. So we highlight her ballerina character by doing some atypical skating things. I want her to be separated by her movement, and that's what happens with Katya's character in the troupe. They don't understand her, so I want her movement to be different enough where the audience sees why they wouldn't understand her. Kurt has got such fast feet and he's got such a musical ear, so we created a drum number with a challenge section. And you give him something like an improv and he's gonna make it look like an improv, but he knows what every bone and every muscle in his body's doing, which is really cool.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Scott can do anything, you know. He can act. Scott Hamilton can take a character and just bring it to the ice. Being Doc, he can do so much. You know, he can be funny, he can be insightful, he can be mysterious. And we put that into his number, into his, when he's in the opening number. He gets to do the opening number with that character as Doc. And then he also gets to be Elvis.
Because I'm gonna, you know, I'm so hot, I'm gonna melt all this stuff.
Which is, I think everybody just likes to put Scott in wigs. I think it's an opportunity to put Scott in an Elvis wig. Let's do it, you know?
I'd say we're off to a pretty good start. I've never backflipped over or through anything before, so, and you're not looking where you're going. You can't look where you're going, because if you do, then you'll twist. So you've got to set it and pretty much time it so that it's just right, and then they set it on fire and it changed everything because I lost perspective. It was like all of a sudden I'm going towards it and I felt the warmth of the fire, and I didn't have the same timing as I did when the hoop was just, you know, not on fire. So it was an experience, and it was an adrenaline rush for sure, and the first take was kind of timid, the second take was a little bit crooked, and the third take was fine. The fact that I had to do it 3 times was, I'm glad, because I got over the fear of it, but I didn't want to do it a 4th time.
It's going to be a lot of animation, which is great because I will be able to do this. We worked with Jamie, and she explained to me that in this number there will be a doll with you, and you have to know that she's going to be around you when you're going to skate, so you have to sort of pay attention on the doll and feel like someone else skating with you, even though there's no one else in here. And so this is the most important trick, to bring the leg up and feel like she's sitting on your leg, but there's no one there. But when it's come out on TV, you're like, wow, that's amazing.
I'm a skater. I've never been really an actor, and I have no base or knowledge about being an actor, but we have such a good team around us and helping us. And having Kurt as Andrew, it's amazing because it really is like a sister-brother relationship that we do have. So it's almost like what we live every day. Like, so it's true. Like, it's not really acting. It's almost like just having fun with our lives.
I believe this one is a stretch for a skating show. It's pushing the limits a little bit. It's asking us to portray characters, not only with our actions and with our skating and our movement, but our voices and our faces. It's asking Jose and myself to, I mean, Scott's great and a natural, but Jose and I were a little nervous. We've never really acted this much before. We've done a few commercials each. Obviously, I don't mind talking, but this is different. And for us, it's a stretch. For them, it was a challenge and a risk. And I've seen some of the takes, and I think it's working. They've kept our characters simple so that we don't, have to stretch too much. But for a skating show, this has a little bit of everything.
I said, are you wearing your costume backwards? Because the buttons weren't in the front yesterday, they were in the back. They were in the back.
I think this is the wrong girl. You could get used to this. You think that it's weird in the beginning, and then you just get used to it. You really do. A little big?
Okay.
She's French.
One more time.
Fabulous acts out there, and very seldom.
Excuse me, sorry. I won't bother you anymore.
Thank you. Yes, somebody's looking for you.
He's always late. He's supposed to meet me here at the practice.
Scott, it's cold. He put A's in my t-shirt. Where did that come out? That's pretty good, eh? No. It's raining. It's you again.
That's the shot right there. What do you think, Dwight? I hate it when I'm wrong. Am I closer, though?